Hi and very good afternoon all of you, and welcome to Dental Amaze Academy. In this short guidance session, what I'm going to give you is about some strategies for effective revision for NEET INI-CET MDS Entrance Examination. Now, this is where many students miss out. They don't have an effective strategy right away from the beginning. And what happens is that in the end, they start revision at a much later phase, and they realize that okay, whatever I've learned, it's all vanished. Now I have to start again. So this should not happen to you. You should have a very clear strategy for revision. Okay, so I'm going to discuss today. One is what is the purpose? Okay, what is the prime purpose of revision? Okay, then why early revision is a very important key to your success. When to start, when exactly to start your revision, very important. A revision plan to you all. With an example, I'm going to give you how many rounds of revision is needed for you to succeed. And yes, very important, an example, a real-time example. Okay, how it is going to be done for 1 week. Okay, I'll give you an example for a week, so rest you can apply it there. Okay, and what are the effectiveness of revision? You have to understand that also. Many students, instead of revising, they start learning new things every day, expecting that I'm just wasting my time for revision. So what is the effectiveness of revision based on scientific research? And finally, what are the key requisites for you to follow all these things which I've told you? Okay, so this is what we are going to come to. So first I'm going to say is what is the purpose of revision? Okay, now please understand, please understand, learning happens by revision. Okay, very important. It's not that you started a subject today, you did a topic today and you did it very effectively, and people come to me and say, sir, the next day I took the whatever I learned yesterday, I forgot everything. Or the next week I spent so much time in learning it, but I forgot everything. Please understand, learning happens by revision. And in fact, this is contrary to your understanding, it actually saves time. I'll tell you how. Okay, then this is where photographic memory starts developing. Now it's the key. This is the key difference between your theory exam and NEET MDS exam. In theory exam, you memorize. Isn't it? You memorize, you develop your, mugging up memory. Here it is photographic memory. Okay, so how you develop photographic memory here. Now, better and in-depth understanding of concepts. It's very important. I'll tell you why. Okay, now let's see why do I tell you that learning happens here. Basically, you learn by revision and not by mugging up. Please understand that. Very important. And yes, so you will ask me, then what about lectures and notes? Okay, why do you provide lectures and notes? Basically, lectures and notes are for understanding the concepts. You get a lecture, you get notes, you read it, you listen to the lecture, you understand the concepts. Now, next is learning. And learning is by what? Learning is by revision, okay, and solving more MCQs. So basically, as I've told you, lectures and notes is going to make you understand the concepts. Okay, more importantly, your lectures, no doubt. But learning, it comes by revision and solving more MCQs. Please understand that. So revision is the key, and definitely you're solving more MCQs. Now, save time. I'll give you with an example. Okay, where are you actually saving your time? Now, this one, you can develop a photographic memory. How? You continuously revise. You develop a photographic memory, and now that's development of photographic memory in itself is a different lecture. I'll come to that. But yes, once you develop your photographic memory, the retention is much better. Please understand that. Now, better and in-depth understanding is very important, isn't it? Your peripheral understanding will not help you to solve complex questions. So you have to have an in-depth understanding. Now, people, the way people develop in-depth understanding is how, they sit for the entire day with a topic and they start reading textbooks on that day, thinking that I'll understand in depth. No, in-depth understanding comes every time you revise. Okay, so this is the key importance. I'm not repeating it so that I don't give a very long lecture, but hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Okay, now, why is early revision a key? It will help you keep in touch with the subject. Now, this is major complaint of many students. You know what? I studied ortho. I started with ortho, sir. Then I did perio, then I did endo, or I did anatomy. Then when I took ortho, I forgot everything. So revision helps you keep in touch with each and every subject. Very important. Okay. Now, when to start your revision? I wish this was a live session. I would have asked you the question, and most of the students, what they tell me, once your first round is over. Okay, and some even tell me, sir, October, November, or September, October, when we have January is the exam or March is the exam. No. The answer for this is on the day one of the start of your course. I'm not just saying it. No, simply on the day one, the revisions should start. How? I will tell you. This is a revision plan. Okay, so the revision should take place on day one. Okay, every consecutive days from day two onwards. Every Sundays is purely for revision, and there is a plan thereafter. Okay, so this is 1 week. Then thereafter, how you have to go for it. So let's see. In day one, what is being done is, you imagine you're watching a lecture. Okay, I'll give you a subject-wise example very soon. But yes, imagine you're watching a lecture. You have taken down your lecture notes, which I always prefer more than your high-yield notes. It's always better to take down your lecture notes, because you are writing it, you're listening to it, you are writing it in your own handwriting, you're seeing it. Every senses are working. So it becomes much more easy. Okay, now imagine you have taken your lecture notes. Just review. Once you do your lecture, finish your lecture, 10-minute review of your lecture notes. Done. Keep it there. How much soever is gone inside, don't worry. Keep it there. Next day, you take this same topic which you did it on the day one, 20 minutes review of the key points. Now, what people do, mistake here. They start the day two, we tell them to revise, they learn again day one. No, you haven't yet developed photographic memory. So you can't learn everything, just you can review the key points, and this is where, you start developing the photographic memory. So what you're doing here is, of whatever you have learned on the previous day, you're just 20-minute reviewing. I know learning doesn't happen there. It's where your photographic memory starts developing. It's just a beginning stage. Okay. Now, this will continue. I'll give you an example very soon, but this will continue. And on Sundays, you review whatever you have learned that week. So the next day is what you learned the previous day. Sunday is whatever you have learned from day 1 to day 6, whatever you have done. Okay, and you'll have a subject-wise test paper. Remember I told you, learning comes by solving more and more questions. You have topic-wise test paper after every topic, but much more important, if you can do the topic-wise test paper every day, that's very good. Okay, or every alternate day you get a topic-wise test paper. If you can do it, very good, but you have to be a very fast learner for that. Even if you don't do that, you must do your subject-wise test paper. So that's what happens on the Sunday. So day one, consecutive days, Sunday, you've reached end of the week, you repeat this. I'll give you example what to do. Thereafter, it's very important. What are you going to do? Now, after every subject is over, okay, once the first subject is over, okay, what you're going to do is, very, very important, you increase 20 minutes your learning schedule. Means, your first subject was, you were learning, for example, 4 hours a day, or 4.5 hours a day. You started your entrance preparation, you're learning 4 hours a day. It's not required 8 hours a day right away. No. If you're learning 8 hours a day right away, you're doing something called overdoing, which is not required. You're learning 4.5 hours a day, or 4 hours a day. After your first subject is over, you're going to add 20 minutes to your schedule. And this 20 minutes is to revise your previous subject. For example, you started with anatomy, now you're into microbiology. Or you started with microbiology, now you're into anatomy. Example. You started and now you're doing anatomy. You were learning 4.5 hours. Okay, 4 hours, imagine. Now you are going to learn 4 hours, 20 minutes. For what? You're going to review the previous day subjects every day. Okay, how to do this, that we will teach you. Okay, that is there, another video, you'll get it. Okay, now this addition of 20 subjects should happen, 20 minutes should happen every month. That is how you reach the 8-hour mark or 10-hour mark. And this extra 20 minutes should be used for revision only. Okay, how to that is happening, I'll tell you, don't worry. But yes, your learning should finish by 4.5 hours, done. Okay, your learning should not take more than that. Learning of that day's topic. If you're taking more than that, I've seen many students, get a very detailed lecture, everything about, a particular topic, lots of knowledge, and they take the whole day for learning it. It should not happen. You watch maximum 2-3 hours lecture a day, maximum. Okay, usually 2 hours lecture a day. 20 minutes of reviewing those notes. Okay, and at maximum 30 minutes to solve the questions. Done. Okay. Next day should begin, and next day you should begin it with revision. So initially it should be very stress-free, 4.5 hours, done. Then you should increase as revision period, okay, to use it to more strategy. What happens is 8 hours a day, today I'm going to learn. Then when we ask them, did you revise? No sir, I'm not getting. Because why? You have already built yourself into a habit of what? I'm going to learn every day 8 hours. Whatever topic is taken. No, it's not the way. Okay, and for that definitely you need very, very focused contents, isn't it? If you can't do this, now for example, some students tell me, sir, I'm very slow learner, I can't do this. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you start now, if enough time, to build the habit of learning. Once you build the habit of learning, you can do this in 4 hours, don't worry. Okay, so now this is what we're discussing is thereafter. First week is done. So every week it should continue, okay, till that subject is over. Once that subject is over, you're going to take 20 minutes to review that subject. Plus whatever you're doing, that should also happen. That is a part of your 4.5 hours. This is extra 20 minutes. Now after that, you're going to get grand test every month. Okay, every month you're going to get grand test. Now you're going to get revision exams every 3 to 4 months. Okay, and there is going to be a final revision and mock exams. That is the final stage. Okay, so you're getting topic-wise test paper, you're getting subject-wise test paper every week, you're getting grand test every month, revision exam every 3 to 4 months. Means it's like every alternate day you're going to get exam. Now, if you can't do that, topic-wise test paper, I'm not too much worried. But every week you should definitely attempt your subject-wise exam. Let's see it. Okay, every month you should at least attempt your grand test. Okay, this is it. Okay, sorry, grand test. So every week, every month. So that means in a month you should minimum attempt 5 test papers. Minimum. Maximum you can do how much soever, it's there on the app. Okay. So then revision exam happens. Now how does this happen? That's very important to understand. Grand test every month. And what we do is we tell you, or we give you 3 to 4 subjects. And we tell you to read those 3 to 4 subjects in 2 days. Now why is this important? You'll understand. Don't tell me 2 days, 3 subjects, that has to come. So this will happen only by what? Revision. Continuous revision strategy can only give you that finishing of 3 to 4 subjects, okay, in 2 days. Now why is it important? It's very crucial. Why? Because imagine you have, for example, we had just example, AIMS exam on 5th, isn't it? AIMS exam was there on 5th. So what we did in our academy was we told the students to revise everything what they have learned on 2nd, 3rd and 4th. In 3 days, you have to revise everything you have learned. So for that to happen effectively, you should practice. Slowly bring down slowly increase your speed and bring down your time you're taking for revision. That's very important. Now, every 3 to 4 months, you're going to have revision exam. So how is that? We're going to give you 6 to 8 subjects every 3 to 4 months and tell you to finish them in 7 days. Okay, so this is how we go with it. Now, finally, you come to the final. So this is a much later stage, very close to the exam. So, but see, you're continuously revising. Every day you're revising. Every week, Sunday you're revising. Every month for 2 days you're revising. Every 3 to 4 months you're revising. So, who can stop you? Who's going to stop you from getting into the government college seat? Isn't it? Now, finally, final revision. How the final revision? That's why I told you have to increase your speed. Now, see, in the last phase, okay, we're going to finish the entire syllabus revision in 45 days, first round in the sense, first quick revision, okay, then 30 days, then 15 days, then 7 days, then 3 days. I told you the 3 days thing, last 3 days. So to get that 3 days, okay, you should be able to revise 7 days, within 7 days, entire syllabus. Then to get that 7-day revision, you should be able to revise 15 days. In 15 days. To get that 15-day revision, you should be able to finish the entire syllabus in 30 days. To get there, you have to finish your entire syllabus in 45 days. To get that 45 days, you have to follow all these which is being told to you. Now, you'll ask me how difficult it is. It's not difficult. Okay, it's very much possible if you build the habit of learning. So hope you understood. It's almost everyday revision. Okay, and remember, I told you it's not about learning 8 hours a day. It's starting with 4.5 hours a day. If you can't do a topic in 4.5 hours a day, you're doing something wrong. So you have to develop a habit of learning. You have to make it more simplified. Focus on the pattern, not to finish the syllabus. Remember, I've made a video called You Can Learn in 2 ways. 2 ways of learning for NEET MDS. The first way is to finish the entire syllabus. Second way is called smart learning. Okay, so you have to be smart learner. Otherwise, you will not be able to do things on time. Now, how many rounds of revision is needed? We'll just see what we did. So we are doing 2 phases, isn't it? The first one is your initial coverage, I told you. The second one is the final phase, this one. Okay, this is the final phase of revision. So in the coverage phase, how did we revise? We revised it on the same day, isn't it? I'll just bring this down. Okay, we revised on the same day, the next day, Sunday, monthly, grand test, every 3 months, revision test paper. So this is 5, isn't it? Now in the final revision phase, we saw there is 45-day finishing, then 30-day finishing of the topics, then 14 days, then 7 days, and finally 3 days before the exam. So this is again 5 days. So if you just calculate it, 5 plus 5, 5 here, 5 years. So total how much? 10 revisions. Amazing. So for that, you have to be on track. Now, see, you will tell me how possible. Now, see, the first phase is not easy. You join now, the first phase is going to be difficult. So first phase, we are giving you the entire leeway to learn. Understood what I said? You are given time to learn how to learn. The first phase. Second phase is what? We strictly tell you this because it's very difficult to reach here unless you don't practice. Okay, so that's about your concept called how many rounds? How many rounds? 10 rounds. For example, yes, this is what I'm sure many of you are waiting for. Okay, that is, imagine you're doing anatomy. Okay, you're doing anatomy, I'm taking a week. Okay, so that is day 1 to day 7 of anatomy. Okay, so I'm just putting some topics out there. In day 1, you're going to learn deep cervical fascia. Okay, in day 2, you're going to learn muscles of the neck. In day 3, you're going to learn nerve supply of the neck. Day 4, you're going to learn spinal nerves and related cervical and brachial plexus. And day 5, it's going to be anterior triangle. Day 6, posterior triangle. You're coming to Sunday. Remember, Sundays for revision. So let's see how you're going to learn this. Deep cervical fascia. I told you 4 hours of learning, including lectures, MCQ solving. If you're not able to do that, you have to learn to do that. Okay. Now, next is muscles of the neck. Now, next is the day 2. We are coming to day 2, isn't it? We are coming to day 2. We are learning muscles of the neck. Again, for learning muscles of the neck, 4 hours. But 20 minutes revision of day 1. 20 minutes review. Okay. Now, did you learn everything in this 4 hours? No. But you learned something. While reviewing 20 minutes, you learned a little bit more. Now, how many revisions are remaining? This is your first revision. How many more revisions are remaining? 9 more. So don't you think that you learn more? Yeah, that's the key. So that is where you're saving time. Okay, that's very, very important. That's where you are saving your time. Okay, now coming to day 3. How the day 3 is going to be? 4 hours of learning of nerve supply of neck. 20 minutes of what? Day 2. So you're giving exactly the same time. 20 minutes for day 2. 10 minutes of day 1 because your day 1 you have already given 20 minutes. Now you're going to give only 10 minutes review. See what you have learned. It's just seeing what you have learned quickly. Once you develop that photographic memory, probably by 3 times reviewing it, you will be amazed to see that you are learning much better. Okay, so that's how. And remember, revision is one thing. Solving MCQs are there still. So you are learning better. You're going to get more retention when you solve more MCQs. So I get complaints about the students. Sir, yesterday I gave my exam. I got very low marks. Your initial MCQ exams are not to see your marks or not to judge yourself. You're going to learn through solving MCQs, guys. And definitely dental pulse also is there side by side, isn't it? It's also important. Now, so that was day 3. Now day 4. Day 4 you are learning spinal nerves. So just example. So you're taking 4 hours for that. 20 minutes of day 3, nerve supply of neck. 10 minutes of day 2, muscles of neck. 5 minutes of day 1. Okay, 5 minutes review of day 1. So it means you have developed a photographic memory of day 1. How comfortably, isn't it? Now, 3-day splitting is the best thing. You can't do day 4 also you start with the day 1. No, it's always, it feels a little cumbersome, a little problematic if you start again from day 1. So I request you to go a different pattern from day 5. Okay, imagine you're learning anterior triangle. Day 1, 4 hours. Day 5, 4 hours. That is, you're learning that topic. 20 minutes of day 4, 10 minutes of day 3. Stop it there, no problem. Forget about day 2 and 1. Now, if you're very enthusiastic, you have an optional thing called, you can do day 1 and day 2. But usually, I don't suggest this. It's fine. You stop it here. Okay? You stop it 4, 20, 10. That is 3, 4 and 5. You're combining. Now, again, you're combining day 6, 4 hours. Day 5, day 4. Okay, so day 4, 5, 6, day 1, 2, 3. So that's the way you do it. Now, so it means to say that you're going to completely ignore your day 1, 2, 3. No, you're coming on Sunday. You take the whole day, okay, 4.5, 5, whatever. So totally how much? This is how much totally? 4.5. Okay, 4.5 hours maximum, 4.5, 5 hours is needed, and people saying that, sir, no, I can't do any, I can't do NEET preparation. It's too much of effort. You can't put 5 hours a day for your future. You can. Only thing is, no one told you. Everyone told you that 20 hours is needed or 12 hours is needed. No. That is when you start revising. Okay, and keep it simple. Keep it simple. That's the key. Okay, especially in the initial phase. The whole day you're going to revise day 1 to day 6. Everything you have learned. Now this is where people make mistakes. Sunday they have something pending. They'll say that I'll do my pending topics. No, leave it there. Leave it there. Pending you can do later on. I'll tell you what to do with the pending. Okay, if I discuss about that, this will become a very long lecture. Leave it there. Try to give your best, no doubt. Don't say that every day I'm going to make some pending because I'm going to do something about it later. No. Finish your pending perfectly, as much as possible. Now, if still there is something pending on Sunday, keep it there. Do what you have learned. I'll tell you why. Okay, very soon. So that was about what? An example. Now, I told you, I'll tell you why. It's important to keep your pending there and you understand the effectiveness of revision, how effective the revision is. Okay, now here, 2 scenarios. Either you are not revising. You're simply focused on mastering. You're taking, for example, let's take the same example, day 1, deep cervical fascia. You're mastering entire deep cervical fascia, learning everything, 8 hours a day. Okay, reading anatomy textbooks, everything. Okay, you try to master everything. Finished. Next day, muscles of the neck, everything I mastered perfectly. Next day, nerve supply of neck, perfectly I did it, 8 hours. That's the scenario of the first one. Okay. Second is you are learning only, that is, this is kind of, no, this is, in fact, it's a pseudo mastering, I'll call it. You feel like you're doing 100%. Here you feel like you're doing only 60%. Just imagine. Okay. Now, here the first case, there is no revision happening. Here in the second case, you are also revising. So 2 scenarios. So what is the effectiveness? After a week, you'll see that you've forgotten 70% of it. You've retained only 30%. This method, every day you master, you're not revising. Means you forget. You felt like you did 100%. In effect, you've just done 30%. After a week, you'll see this. Okay, and you feel like you have saved a lot of time by not revising. In fact, you have lost a lot of time. Okay, because you have to again put to learn this more in the second round. Instead, if you're learning only 60%, okay, you're just saying, okay, I'm going to learn what is there in the lecture. Okay, I'm going to take down the lecture notes, academy notes. I'm going to take it. I'm going to learn that. I'm just going to solve the basic MCQs which is given to me. I'm not going to go anything beyond that. And that's going to get finished by 4 hours. I'm going to spend the remaining time, probably half an hour, for revision. Okay. What is going to be the result? After 1 week, you have retained at least 50%. Now, how many times have you revised so far? Same day, next day, Sunday. So 3. How much more is remaining? Minimum 7. So if you're retaining 50%, it's still you have 7 more revisions. And you can't go with 100%. Okay, no one will go with 100% perfectness. Maximum you can reach is 80% somewhere. Because 20 subjects, huge syllabus, isn't it? The 2 methods of learning. What is that? One is learn the entire syllabus or learn what the toppers learn. Okay, that's the video there, you can watch it. The key requisites to happen all this. Now, first is determination. I forgot to write it there. Okay, determination. You need MDS, that's it. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, like I told you. First, learn the simple areas. This, I told you, 60% areas are simple. Yeah, definitely, you need guidance, you need lectures to simplify it. It's not directly simple, but 60% is very simple areas. Learn that. Okay, then rest will happen on its own, trust me. It's going to happen on its own. And please don't overdo. Please don't overdo. If you can't finish your topics in 4.5 hours, 2 problems. Either you don't have the habit of learning or you're overdoing. Okay, they're there to guide you, don't worry. Now, guided learning, requisite. See, to learn things in 4 hours, you can't learn from Google. Google for one topic, it will take half an hour. Okay, so there should be guided learning. And please understand, this doesn't happen so quickly. That is, Rome was not built in a day. Okay, it takes time. It takes time. And you have time, enough time for 2025. For crash course students, already you are there, isn't it? You are somewhere there. So for crash course students, I just want to add here few things. There are some modifications required which will be guided directly in your batch. Okay, what needs to be done, but this is in general. No doubt, 100%. Day 1 you have to revise, day 2 you have to revise morning, then only start. Sundays has to be revision, and your revision exams for you, it's revision exams, no? Okay, and yes, subject-wise exams are there. You can do that also. Very good if you're fast enough. So yes, by that I conclude my lecture here. Thank you so much. Take care.